on, you guys? It is your boy, the American F1 fan, Eric Ringel here, and we're back with the reaction video. Now, Daily Fuel Up puts out some amazing F1 content, and I have no doubt this video is going to be no different, as this is every F1 driver's most embarrassing crash, the 2025 Grids edition. So everybody on the 2025 grid, we're going to get to see their most embarrassing crash in auto sports, whether it's F3, F2, F1, or if they've maybe raced in other forms of racing and had an embarrassing crash. So we're going to get a chance to see what their embarrassing crash may have been. So let's get into this video in 3, 2, 1.
These are the most embarrassing crashes of every F1 driver currently on the grid. What better way to kick things off than with the
I was just thinking this whole video could just be Lance Stroll, couldn't it?
whoa! 2024 World Champ. The Dutchman knows how to show off the best of F1.
I can't imagine what they would use as his most embarrassing crash. I mean, he's had some off ones, but...
Here comes Max Verstappen at 18 minutes, 227 days.
I love that David Croft line. Here comes Max Verstappen.
Max Verstappen wins a Formula 1
I can't.
And the worst.
Yeah, that's not really embarrassing on his part. That was a 50-50, and that one, okay, that one I would have.
I'm kidding, relax. But a moment he'll most likely never forget has to be Hungary 2020. That day the track was wet, and on his way to the grid, just 22 minutes before the race start, this happened.
Oh my god!
Got a broken left front truck.
I totally forgot about this moment. When they went to Hungary and it was raining on the formation lap and he crashed. I totally forgot.
Rookie mistake, man. It was supposed to be a chilled out lap. A pretty ridiculous way to ruin your whole weekend. But he
broke his suspension.
They pull it off. Honestly, the clock was ticking against him.
Oh, there we go. Look, there's the car being pushed into his grid slot behind
wow.
him without his front wing. You can just about see his mechanic starting to put him into his place.
We've got about 18 minutes to go until lights out, so they're very much up against it.
I need to know how long those bits will take to change. Just under 17 minutes to go. At what point do we abandon this so that we comfortably get the car off the grid before the... Do we need 4 minutes to clear that car off?
God, that's got to be such a heartbreak, because you know Max can hear all of this, and like that's got to be so heartbreaking to have your team now basically frantically trying to get your car ready to race.
Yeah, about that.
Okay. And you know your deadline.
Will Max Verstappen even get
so basically
lap here? It's going to be an absolute thriller.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I'll let it play now. So basically 13 to 14 minutes to get that car ready to race after breaking his suspension and getting the parts. Oh my God!
I think,
and all eyes on Max Verstappen.
And they got it done.
Great coordination.
They got that done. That's
30
impressive.
seconds until wheels need to be fully fitted.
Still over 20 seconds, plenty of time. Nice one.
Okay, I just have to say, incredible work, guys. That's
Max is a lucky man.
Huge shout out to the Red Bull mechanics.
Lucky man.
And the race result.
And Max Verstappen goes round the outside, looking for third place, and it's a third place. It's the mistake turned into a podium for Max Verstappen, second place for Red Bull.
Which kind of made everyone forget about his little screw up. But you know who?
What? Again, totally forgot he finished third in that race. That's so impressive with the fact that he... Oh my God, that's impressive, Max.
Didn't get so lucky? Mr. Strulovic.
Ah, this guy.
Seriously, Daddy's little boy has had so many embarrassing crashes and mess-ups, it's kinda hard to keep count, and even harder to just choose one. But what he did in Brazil 2024...
I don't know, that was probably more embarrassing. Oh, no, never mind, because they just said 2024. Never mind. Yeah, this is pretty bad.
Man, I've got no words for that. On the way to the grid before the race, he lost control of his Aston.
Lance Stroll finds himself off the road.
Pretty
Oh my
embarrassing,
God.
but not as bad as Max's, to be fair, since he barely hit the barriers. What do you think he did next? Tried to reverse it back onto the track, or maybe spun it around real quick? Well, it's Strulovic we're talking about here, so of course, he went for the dumbest move possible.
Something tells me he didn't want to race that day.
Out of the race before it even started. Fuck my life. The Brazilian fans in the grandstands couldn't stop booing and shouting Drugovic. When there's a woat on track,
Like I said, something tells me he didn't want to race in that race. He just is like, let me put it in the gravel and end this.
you just know things are gonna go wrong. Just ask Zhou. In Singapore 22, he ended up sharing the track with none other than Go Tifi.
Taxes was feeling.
Oh, hit the wall, and Latifi.
And yeah, that definitely didn't end well.
The guy just fully squeezed me into the wall, guys. I don't know what is he doing.
Why is it embarrassing? It's clearly Zhou's fault. Everyone knows it. The first rule of F1 race.
I thought this was the whole entire 2025 F1 grid, but this is even funnier because I do like Zhou.
Racing. Never get near Latifi. And if you do, you get Latifi's.
Right, that's Pin's fault. Latifi comes through. Oh, no!
Another driver who knows exactly what those Singapore barriers feel like is Russell. Let's talk about that final lap of 2023, which was, well, straight up epic.
God.
Sainz, Norris,
Yeah, it
Russell,
was.
and Hamilton. All four battling it out for the win. Seriously, anyone could have ended up anywhere.
He
Just
was
when
so
the battle
close to it. He could have won this race.
happened.
Here over two. Oh, and there goes off the Mercedes, and into the barrier goes George Russell. Been struggling on his tyres.
Oh.
For Singapore glory, ends up in
Trying so hard, I get it.
Not gonna lie, that camera angle makes it even funnier. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw it. From this angle, you can see what happened better. Norris came so close to the wall that Russell just ended up eating it.
George just sounds like he just woke up from a horrible nightmare only to realize it wasn't a nightmare and realize he did slam into the wall.
Crashing at the end of a race like that is pretty embarrassing, and Perez and Sainz know exactly how that feels. On the penultimate lap in Baku 24, they were right on Leclerc's tail, fighting for the last spots on the podium. The three of them were having...
The thing with this crash is it's embarrassing more for Sainz than I think it is for Perez, because Perez had nothing to do with this. This was... You watch this crash, it was all Sainz's fault.
a solid battle.
Is the writing on the wall for Charles Leclerc, who will defend for as long as he can.
Until this moment.
Perez in the Red Bull moves to the outside, forces his way around, but Leclerc's not having any of it. Forces Perez out wide, and that
It was a good move, and it allowed Sainz to get through.
Makes the dream work for Ferrari, and Sainz gets up into the podium places, but now Perez coming back, and there's contact.
Yeah, that's all on Sainz. That's an embarrassing crash for Sainz, not for Perez, though.
Between Perez and Sainz into the wall. Disaster for Ferrari and Red Bull. It all happens in the blink of an
God.
Wow, that was pretty unnecessary in my opinion. Not sure whose fault it was, but I bet they didn't exactly feel proud getting out of the car after losing a podium like that. And you know what? That's not the only embarrassing crash they've had. Yep, surreal but true. Throwback to Monaco 22 in qualifying. In the final minute of Q3, Perez was pushing to improve.
Oh, I remember this one
This
too.
time went out of nowhere. He crashed right before the tunnel. And just
This is the crash that started so much controversy in Red Bull between Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen.
a few seconds later, someone else decided to join in on the
I
fun.
think Perez has gone into the barriers, and Carlos Sainz on the scene as well has made contact.
No words on that. With those two stuck in
The
middle,
yellow
qualifying
flags
was
were
right
waving.
there.
How did you...
So, yeah, I guess those are the most ridiculous moments for Perez and Sainz. But urban circuits are basically a playground for crashes and mistakes, and a lot of them are pretty ridiculous. If I say Baku, Leclerc, and crash, I'm betting one moment pops into your head. Yep, the one in 20 2019 during Q2, Leclerc was in 5th, giving it his all to improve his time.
The
When
most famous
suddenly,
radio message of all time.
And there's another big crash. It is Charles Leclerc.
he just pushed too hard, I guess. And it didn't take him long to jump on the radio.
I am stupid. I am stupid.
At least he knew his crash was embarrassing. Like with the lap he had already,
Yeah.
he would have cruised into Q3 anyway. But hey, that's what happens in F1 when you don't brake enough. You just end up in the barriers. That's why there's a speed limit in the pit lane, right? To stop stuff like this from happening. Well, even OG Hamilton defied that rule. Let's rewind to Montreal 2008. After an early safety car, Hamilton leading the race heads into the pits, with Kubica and Raikkonen right behind. But Hamilton has a slow stop and gets passed by
Oh,
both of them,
that's
who then come out
right.
side by side and stop at the end of the pit lane because the light's red. But Hamilton, dead set on getting those positions back, totally misses the red light.
Oh, no, but the pit lane's closed and Hamilton has hit the back of...
Yeah, this was such a weird, and this is back when, like, they used that red light more in the pit lanes when drivers were in and out of the pits. Like, you don't see it much now, but you used to see it a lot back during this time frame. You would see the red lights come on and, like, making sure that everybody was safe coming out of the pits. Yeah, this is got to be Hamilton's most embarrassing. Took himself, and I believe it took Massa out of the race.
With
Or no,
zero
Kimi.
plans of braking, and neither did Rosberg.
I forgot it was
Even though
Kimi.
It was possible to create so much chaos in the pit lane. Raikkonen's reaction, classic Kimi. With both out, Kubica won the race.
Robert Kubica wins in Canada. He takes the lead in the Drivers' World Championship.
And Hamilton, he got hit with a 10-place grid penalty for the next race.
Man, I'm surprised it was only 10 place.
Honestly, if they have to give you a penalty for crashing just to teach you a lesson, it makes it even more ridiculous and embarrassing. Just ask Magnussen, one of the most kamikaze and aggressive drivers out there.
That's not his fault. That is so on Sargent. Yeah, that one.
Magnussen is and will always be stupid.
I do love that radio message about Magnussen from Leclerc. It's still pretty funny.
But the peak of embarrassment has to be this one.
Trying to pull off another overtake, and this time wasn't as special as the move at the first chicane, contact with Pierre Gasly.
It's obviously a stupid and unnecessary crash, but to be honest, it feels pretty on brand for K-Mag. But you know what just tops off the embarrassment? Not only did he get a 10-second penalty, but he was also banned from the next race in...
Oh, that's
Yep,
right.
you heard that right.
He was the first guy since Romain Grosjean to be banned for a race for penalties.
Crash pushed him to 12 penalty points on his super license. He was the first to hit that mark since the system was put in place, becoming the first driver in 12 years to be banned from a race. Since Mr. Crash
So let's just see here, there's Grosjean behind Ricciardo. He's just launched himself over the rear.
I mean, Grosjean pulled off this dumbass move.
Going into the wall. Oh dear, Roman
Yeah.
and Fernando Lewis Hamilton all coming to grief for the
I mean, yeah, that is the dumbest move we've ever seen in Formula
To
One.
think these two would ever be teammates. You know who else would have never expected to be Magnussen's teammate? He's a pretty solid driver who doesn't usually get into much trouble, but there's one day where he completely forgot how to drive. Let's rewind to Spa 2018.
Really? Okay.
And it's lights out and away we go here at Spa. Hamilton gets away well. Perez as well, covering his distance over to cover up Sebastian Vettel. And it's looking...
Oh, that's right. But yeah, but that wasn't his fault.
Also involved Nico Hülkenberg.
Oh, I forgot it was his fault. He's...
At all, causing pure chaos.
You know what's so funny is whenever you see that crash, you only see the McLaren going over Leclerc's front of the halo. You never see what happens behind him that causes Fernando to crash into Leclerc like that. So I never realized that was Hülkenberg's fault there.
Halo did its job with Leclerc.
Yeah, it did. Jeez.
But my god, that crash still gives me the chills. Just like Hulk, another damn joke of a move in the first corner came from Bottas in Hungary 21. The track was half wet, so chaos was pretty much guaranteed.
Get those
But
ugly
hey,
hosses
someone
off.
had to kick things off right. That's where Bottas must have thought.
he locked it up, but yeah, it was there was no way he was going to make that move. The amount of chaos that one move caused.
3 cars and set off all chaos after that. I get that during a race, nerves are high and drivers make these kind of mistakes. But what about when it happens in free practice? Now that I really don't get. Yet, it's exactly what Albon did in Mexico in 2024. The Williams driver was driving like a maniac in FP1 until he finally lost control.
Oh, that is a
yeah.
barrier for Alex Albon.
Because he took himself and I believe it was Bierman in free practice out, or it was Bierman in the Ferrari. He was getting a run in the Ferrari for free practice.
Yeah, not only did he wreck his own Williams, but he also took out Behrman's Ferrari, who was just trying to rack up some laps. Albon's reaction?
Idiot.
Was he calling himself that, or was it directed at Behrman? Either way, at that point, I just felt bad for the
That's
Williams.
got to be on him.
I mean, who knows how many cars their drivers wrecked that season?
Literally, by the end of the season, I'm surprised they had a car to put together. As many crashes as they had.
Pinto definitely wouldn't be proud of is the one he had in Q2 in Vegas, while pushing it to the max.
Franco Colapinto, and for the first time this weekend, we have had a driver hit the wall.
It's so amazing to remember the fact that this guy was almost going to get an F1 seat based on his like first 2 races when he took over for Logan Sargent.
Total rookie mistake. Another rookie who had no idea how to explain what happened when he got back to the garage was Lawson in Qatar's 2020.
Lawson doesn't make himself a fan of many people in Formula One because he's kind of got an ego about himself.
Sprint race starting in P14. The Kiwi held it together pretty well in the first corner, but
yeah.
The second one.
And it's Liam Lawson who's gone off the road on the first.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he got nervous or what, but he just lost control of his car all by himself. Stuck on the gravel there, Liam.
Although to be fair, that AlphaTauri towards the end of the season was pretty crap and like it was starting to fall off as far as, you know, decent race cars.
If there's one thing I've learned from watching F1 for years, it's that it doesn't matter if you're a rookie or an experienced driver. Nothing can save you from ridiculous and embarrassing crashes. Just ask Alonso.
You are flying and you are bouncing around and you see the sky.
God, that's still...
the sky and you know exactly where you are and you keep moving, you want to stop.
He doesn't...
That is such... That is such a scary crash to watch. If you ever watched that over again, it was Esteban Gutierrez and Fernando Alonso it was Haas's early days. I think it may have been Haas's first race ever, if I remember correctly.
Crash much, but when he does, damn, he makes sure both his car and himself are completely wrecked. Out of all the crashes he's had, I'd say the most embarrassing one was with Heidfeld in one of the 2009 Valencia free practices. I'm not sure if Alonso thought Heidfeld was going to go into the pits or what, but the Spaniard completely dive-bombed him with no reason at all.
What the hell was that, Fernando?
And Heidfeld, well, he just flew. Seriously, what was that, Fernando? And he somehow made it into the pit lane, obviously skipping all lines.
Heidfeld apparently flies quite a bit in race cars.
Crashes. The exit can be just as messy. Here's what Tsunoda did in Canada 22 after switching tyres.
Tsunoda came into the pits, went straight on as he came out on cold tyres.
Yep, straight up retired right after changing them.
I don't know if Red Bull wants to remember this, so this is probably a bad time to put this out. But the fact that Tsunoda sends it straight on in Montreal just coming out of the pits, that's pretty bad.
Are you okay?
I guess they had the temperature of Uranus. Or leave it out in the comments. But I can't even imagine the mechanics' faces after doing their job and seeing that. Another garage I wouldn't have wanted to be in was Alpine's in Monaco 24. All thanks to Ocon, aka the teammate destroyer.
Never in my life I saw a defense like Esteban.
They must come to blows themselves then afterwards.
Big impact into the wall for the 2 Alpines.
With all the times he's tried to take out his teammates, it's hard to...
Really, not all the time. There have been times that when it was between Sergio and Esteban, there were definitely some times that it was on Sergio. And although I will say the Alpine stuff was mainly his fault.
Just one, but I think Monaco might be the most embarrassing. Though
yeah.
with Ocon, I'll accept other moments too. Decide in the comments. Everyone knows Monaco's a nightmare for overtaking.
Yeah, this one was pretty bad.
Going side by side, so patience is key.
Especially because the safety car had already come out.
Teammate even less so. Gasly.
Because I'm almost positive the safety car came out at this point, like before this point had happened.
Couldn't believe what just happened.
What did he do?
Exactly.
What did he do?
You don't lunge your teammate in porting.
Red flag.
And while Ocon,
yeah, because then it went red flag.
I need to comment what happened. Can't leave me space there.
Yeah, you were ahead and he didn't leave you space, I understand.
Gasly somehow managed to turn things around and finish in the points.
Pierre Gasly takes his first point of the season. The party can truly start now.
The teammate
Man, I swore he retired that race.
Penalties for the next race. And let's be honest, it's obviously no coincidence that this was announced not long after. But even Gasly knows what happens when you...
No, it wasn't. It was a while after that had happened that he was... I think it was at least like a month or two after that when he signed for Haas.
Have a stupid, unnecessary crash, not with your teammate, but with your brand teammate. Back when he was at Red Bull, if anyone remembers that, he was battling with Albon's Toro Rosso and Hockenheim, and impatience got the best of him, so he ended up doing this. And just like Ocon, not long after that, a pretty harsh announcement came for Gasly. But to be fair, Gasly's not the kind of driver who crashes a lot. When he does, it's usually because of someone else. Same goes for my boy Piastri. He's usually...
Yeah, that's... Red Bull has treated their drivers very severely, as we've most recently seen.
Pretty clean, but in Abu Dhabi 2024, he didn't exactly have the smoothest race. In the first corner, Max bumped into him.
No. Did we literally just say that he only bumped into him? Like, literally, it was like Max Verstappen was a kamikaze pilot and was meant to take out Oscar at that particular second.
And on lap 28, Piastri jumped into the chaos and took poor Colapinto out with this.
Oh, that's right. I forgot he did have that crash afterwards.
His teammate Norris doesn't crash much either, but like Piastri, one completely unnecessary and embarrassing moment for him was Miami 2022.
Oh, that's right.
Norris himself said it was a pretty dumb accident, to put it nicely.
A shame, I think it just ended in a silly way.
But hey, what would F1 be without these stupid, ridiculous, and embarrassing crashes? They're what make the sport fun, and we can't help but laugh when they happen, because let's face it, they happen pretty often, especially from these guys. If you haven't already...
Thanks, appreciate that. I love the last moment of that was Haas crashing, but... Oh my God, yeah, those are some embarrassing crashes. And the thing is they only showed F1 crashes there. I was kind of hoping we'd see some of the newer guys like Bierman, Antonelli, Bortoletto, and their crashes in like F2 or F3. Thought we'd maybe see that, but maybe we'll see a compilation video of that sometime coming up that I can react to. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below what Formula One video you guys would like to me to react to next, excluding F1's YouTube page. I cannot react to their videos. If I try to react to their videos, I immediately get copyrighted and they immediately take my video down. So if there's other Formula One compilation videos out there you'd like me to react to, let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, as always, hit that like button. And if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. We are getting so close to 1,000 subscribers, so it'll definitely help me out if you guys hit that subscribe button so we can get to 1,000 subscribers. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. And guys, for the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringle, signing off.